Hey guys, Storm here, and we're on to session 2 of our D&D Talks. Now this one is technically split up into 3 separate accounts, 3 stories. Partially our party's fault. Big Trouble and Laner Cost. The party awakens on the road north of Rofil. While traveling the next day to the dense swamp forest gives way to a floodplain which is covered with rows of blackberry bushes. The party approaches the crossroads village of Lanercost by nightfall. The party enters a simple crow. Upon crossing the threshold of the entrance, Mum and Trunkle notice a sense of calmness washing over them, while the same effect goes unnoticed on the rest of the party. Sigil Silverbeard purchases a bottle of the local blackberry brandy, and John Helborn grossly overpays for an aged bottle of the brandy. John Helborn does notice after some time the presence of some silent vanguard inside of the tavern. The party has their fill and retreats to bed for the night. They all are awoken by the sounds of a scuffle in the streets below. Trunkle and Sigil Silverbeard make their haste to the streets below, whilst Mum wild shapes into a squirrel and makes her way out of the window into the street. John Helborn, however, is too hungover and is unable to hear the scuffle in the street. Down below, the party finds the young boy being restrained by members of the Silent Vanguard. One Vanguard is reading off a decree that the boy is suspected of illegally practicing magic, and it is sentenced to public execution. Sigil Silverbeard casts friends and attempts to persuade one of the Vanguard members to stop this arrest. His attempt fails, at which point he tells Trunkle to get ready and flings an ice knife into the face of the Vanguard reading the decree. Combat ensues, and after a short bout, the party rises victorious over the Vanguard, with Trunkle knocking the final combatant unconscious. John Helborn then takes this unconscious man up to his room to interrogate him, all while Trunkle brings the boy and his mother to his room for safekeeping. During this time, Mum and Sigil Silverbeard make their haste to dispose of the bodies of the Vanguards. Mum shifts into an elk and they head into the swamp to hide the bodies. While there, Mum uses her druidic powers to decompose the bodies. John learns that the Vanguard in the area are a new unit, practically on a training mission. Once he is done getting information from the Vanguard, he kills them, and sets off to the East Forest to dispose of the body. Trunkle learns that the boy found a book under a bundle of roots in the forest near his home, east of Lanercost. The book is in fact a spell book, full of mundane cantrips. He was practicing these spells in order to impress a local girl, Regina, who hangs out with some other teenage girls in an abandoned cottage and practices some kind of magic. He sets out to tell John about these findings, and eventually they both return to the Simple Crow. Mum inspects the book with Sigil, and they find that the book is mildly evil, and most likely focuses on some fiendish pact. Mum notices notes in the margins, and some of these pages have been written in Fiendish, referencing a name, Broth Tothan. Eventually, the entire party reconvenes in Trunkle's rooms at the inn. They craft a plan after quite a bit of debate. They will take the boy and his mother home before checking in on the apparent witchcraft. After dealing with this, they will bring the boy and his mother to Andoshire, where some of John's connections can get them smuggled out of the kingdom. They take the boy and his mother home. They set off with the boy as guidance to find the abandoned cottage where the girls could be found. He shows them the tree where he found the book, pointing them in the right direction before heading back to his mother. The Coven. The party eventually comes to the cottage in question, and Sigil Silverbeard decides to sneak up closer for a better look. Peering through the window, he's able to see 3 figures in a circle of candles, and not much more. In an attempt to get their attention, he throws a pebble out the window. However, there is no response. Mildly frustrated, he throws a larger stone through the window, erupting in a cacophony of breaking glass and high-pitched screams. Trunkle and Sigil begin circling the building, while John fails to kick down the door. Mum peeks her head into the window and attempts to converse with the girls within the cottage. The girls make it known that they are witches from a long line of witches that have watched over the harvests of Lanercost. While the party talks to the girls, they notice that one of them has not stopped her incantation. Rosina shouts out the fiendish name, summoning him. Rosina transforms into a grotesque hag form as Brathotothan grabs her hand and teleports away, their shadows coalescing into hellhounds. and a shadowing form. Combat ensues with John falling once to the onslaught of the Hound of the Shadow. However, the party emerges victorious. The girls head home, and the party beds down for the night in the cottage, exhausted from the day behind them. At daybreak, they travel back to the home of the boy and his mother. They gather them and head off to Andorshire with them in tow. 2 uneventful days of travel pass as the party approaches the capital city of Andorshire. They use the noble letter from Volker Lachman to gain entry and pass the guards. Hellborn Homecoming! Once within the city's sigil, Trunkle and Mum, currently in the form of a Labrador, make their way to a guard's office to report on happenings in Rowville. John makes his way with the boy and his mother in tow towards his contacts at the Tipsy Jackal. John tells Froth Snowforge the tale of the boy in the Vanguard, and Froth agrees to get the boy and his mother smuggled to Sayberg as soon as possible. The rest of the party meets with Sogan Dawnkeeper, the head of the guard in Tamor. He's a rather frazzled man, and after a short but odd conversation, the party accomplishes their task of turning in the letter. Sogan asks them to kindly investigate this further as the guard is swamped with civil issues. He points them to Tamor National College, where they may find more information, specifically by speaking to the head of the demonology, Stodven Ravenwater. The party eventually convenes at the Tippy Jackal, and Sigil speaks to a group of elvish sailors who tell him of tales of a silver dragon far to the south. John arm wrestles other patrons of the bar, much like he used to do when he was younger. Mum spots a strange figure leaving the bar and follows. Eventually, she catches up to them, and while talking to this figure, she figures out that is a satyr. He introduces himself as Vix, and tells Mom that it isn't time for them to meet yet. After a night of merrymaking, the party goes to bed in the storage room of the bar. Upon waking, the party readies their supplies to head to the college. As John attempts to grab a bottle of liqueur for the road, he finds a note. Similar to other notes, he has been passed around the Liberation Insurgents front. This note detailed their intent to become violent in the coming months, if need be. What insight could Stodven Ravenwater have to offer? Who is Vix? Will the kingdom erupt in civil war? Or will consensus be met? Find out in our next video.